Yo, guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys a live stream discussion catch up on One Piece chapters 1091 through 1103. I know, when I did my update video, I said we're gonna stop with these chapter updates. But if y'all do remember, I did state that when it comes to One Piece, I know I'm behind by 13 chapters, but I'm gonna tackle the stream first, discuss all my thoughts on what's been going down in the manga, and then moving forward, we'll be going by how the schedule's been going. Even saying that, where do I start? And that's the better question to ask is where exactly do I start with this? Because where we last left off with 1090, at least for me. So we look back on chapter 1090, and I gotta wait for my site to start loading. So we got Kizaru, and if I remember correctly, like it was like Luffy, you got Saint Jaygarcia. Everyone was like kind of like in pursuit, of, like trying to get off the island, get off of Egghead. That's the gist of what was going down. And if you remember how 1090 ended, it ended with Luffy sensing that somebody was like within the vicinity. Who was it? We had no idea. At least with 1090. So cut over to 1091, and we have this 1091 titled Sentomaru. Admiral Kizaru is in the field. Get ready for enemy reaction. Don't let them shoot those lasers. Fire the cannons. And you see Kuma just doing what he's doing. The sea. Wow, I'm fumbling right now. The sea beast weapons are attacking. Open fire, and you see like just exactly what they're doing. They're going through with the attack. Steam Knuckle, not the ships. You're dealing with us. The vice admirals have made landfall. And then, we cut back over to the lava phase. They're fighting at the coast. You got Usopp. It's the Navy against the Robo Sea Beasts. And then you got Vegapunk. Right now, with Sentomaru leading the pacifistas, the island's defenses are utterly impenetrable. Thus, you see the pacifista authority hierarchy, you see the five elders, you see Vegapunk, which includes Stella and the satellites, you got Sentomaru, and then you have the authority chip. Isn't that why he showed up to take out Sentomaru? Is what Usopp says. Nami, on the other hand, goes on to say, Kizaru Stussy. No, Kizaru, question mark. Stussy was right. They sent an admiral here? And then you got Brooks. This brings back some very unpleasant memories from the Shapodiak archipelago. They're fighting right below us. Go to Vegapunk. I'm sorry, Sentomaru. This fight is too cruel to ask of you. I won't blame you for running away. Cut over to see what Sentomaru is doing. Hurry up and surrender. You know you want to, Sentomaru. Yasakani's Sacred Jewel. You see Kizaru. And with what's going on there. Sorry, old man, but I mean my promise. With Straw Hat Luffy. And Kizaru's like, since when did you side with the pirates? I'll take the side of anyone who creates an escape route for the man who saved my life. And I'm gonna say this right now, like this fight, pretty solid. It's a pretty damn solid fight. I don't think anyone is gonna deny that. This is one hell of a fight that we're getting. And in between all that, we get a flashback. They asked us to hunt these bears. Who is that? A child? I hate the villagers. They're so weak. I ain't gonna go back there. You got kicked out, huh? I'm so tough. I don't even get hungry, but I still want a job. I want money. Cut over to Vegapunk. So what it looks like in regards to the flashback here. And I'm more so deciding to do a, analysis breakdown as opposed to going by, just like bullet points. Is because I feel like when it comes to One Piece, especially like with these chapters, there's so much that's happened that I honestly feel like it just makes sense for me to do this. That's why I'm going with the, kind of like the analytical breakdown of like what's happened throughout each of the chapters. But you see Kizaru, you see a very young Sentamaru, and then you see a very young Vegapunk too. I'm so hungry. I don't. I'm so tough. I don't even get hungry, but I still want a job. I want money. And then you got Vegapunk. Oh, and is there something you want to buy with that money? And Sentamaru says, Onigiri. And that causes Kizaru to laugh. You were so adorable back then. Thinking back, how would you like to be my bodyguard, boy? You giving me a job? I'll take it. Hey, old man, how am I supposed to protect Punk? Tell me. Excuse me, you see this youthful skin? And then cut back over. I taught you everything I could, young Sentamaru. Sumo strike. But, I mean, like, yo, this is like a battle between, like, the mentor and the student. Like, not that long ago, we had Garp versus Aokiji. And that was, whoo, dude, I'ma not lie here. The fight between Garp and Aokiji, that was some fire stuff, okay? That was the definition of fire. Without a doubt. No one is going to deny that. That was the definition of fire. This one's no different. Because you got Kizaru saying, my defense is tough. Is just as tough as yours. See the explosion go down. Pacifistus. Now that your control tower is conscious, there is a change of plans. Kuma, and you're still having Kizaru saying, help the naval battleships. Sink the sea beast weapons. The pacifistas have changed tactics. And then you got Saint Jaygarcia Saturn. It's a shame, but if we can only keep one, it should be the pacifistas. Give me a report of the damages from the last few minutes. Yes, sir. And then they got Usopp, Centaurus down, and then you got Vegapunk like in tears. Oh, hurry! Take that shield system down. I know. We can't let Centaurus sacrifice go to waste. And then you got Stussy. Forget it. Vegapunk 2, and then you got Kizaru. Kizaru is light itself. He'll pass right through the laser cannon. Laser barrier to be more precise. What? You mean he's coming here? That's what Usopp's saying. Yes, but he totally floored with us years back. Ah, the Straw Hat Crew. We had some times together. Hurry up, once the barrier comes down, we're out of here. All good so far? Just gotta take the ship around the back? Please do. And then, of course, you got this pretty amusing panel with like Luffy and like Bonney in the corner, just like eating food. Then you also, right behind her, you've got Frankie. What's this about Lilith? An emergency alarm. Why? No one should be able to get in. Checklist to keep safe. The power plant, Punk Records, York, who is actually a friend of it, turns out, checklist to be eliminated. Dr. Vegapunk. Kizaru is inside the dome. Ugh. Luffy's crew is out front. Run away, Luffy! That's what Usopp says. And then you got Brook. Oh no, that can't be good. Vegapunk. The barrier's not going down until the ship's been moved into place. And then you got Crow. You see what's going down here. Stussy gets taken out. What? Stussy, and then you got Nami. All see, this is what I thought was sort of a missed opportunity. Is Sanji takes Nami's weapon, and I would have rather Nami actually take the approach here, because instead it just seems like she's a little bit off, like thrown off, and that's my only like one little gripe is that like it would have been cool to see her like just pull the gun out and be like, all right, cool, we're gonna use this. But instead, Sanji's like, yeah, no, I got this. I don't know. Like that moment to me just felt a little weird, just a little bit. Given with who Nami is as a character, it's like, really? That's what we're doing? Anyway, hey, what gives? And you see what goes on? It's like a bubble gum, a bubble gun. Sanji's like, looks like he left you behind. What? And then Zoro's here. So, you got backup and thought you could make your move, huh? Between Key's army, you're all dead. Then, you don't know us very well. No, I didn't see their ship on shore. It was up there. Up here. Hurry, hurry. He's an admiral. What do we do, Luffy? Luffy? And then he notices, like, huh? Hello there. Long time no see. Luffy just goes straight in. And he's always like, very bad manners. And I love how confident Luffy is in this panel. Like, he's like so super confident. He says, Kizaru, compared to 2 years ago, we're 100 times stronger now. Which goes to show you how long it's been since they've actually clashed. But that moves us over into 1092. This page is going to start loading, which is called Kuma the Tyrant's Holy Land Rampage. And you see what goes down like the day before in Marijua. He's finally climbed up the top. The invincible slave has returned. Soldiers, stop him at once. We can't. He's unstoppable. And, like, they're trying to hold like Kuma. The hell? He's hell bent on reaching his destination, whatever that is. And then get the Ursa shock, and Kuma's like trying to catch his breath. What do you think you're doing? The first revolution Ares the other day. Now this, and this guy. Whoo! The fleet admiral himself, Akainu. You must answer for this historic destruction, Kuma. Fleet Admiral Sakazuki. These soldiers are worthless. Akainu, I'll have you know that last night I ordered the lobster and they what? They had the gal to tell me they were out. This has never happened before. What's become of Marijo's food supply? That's not the most important thing. I've been brutally injured. Just hurry up and put that tyrant slave Kuma to death. And Kizaru goes on to say, that's like Kizaru. Akainu? Sheesh. Akainu over here saying, listen up, Kuma. If we can't maintain control of you, then we certainly cannot afford to have you on the loose, where you can be a danger to the public. You lost your free will long ago, I'm told, so if you're no different from a dead man, where do you think you're going? Hellbound. I said hellbound. Hellhound. And Kuma is not playing any punches here. And Akainu says, well, at least you bleed like a man. Not so fast, Kuma. And you go back to what happened. Bark are you like, but Kuma's mind will not return to him. He volunteered to be reborn as a weapon of war. Kind of, sort of flashing back to what happened with Bonnie. Liar, he would never choose to do. He would never choose to do such a thing. He would never. Hey, where'd Kuma go? Leave me behind, is what Bonnie kind of echoes. And that's when Akainu like remembers, like, you let him escape? Some fleet admiral you are. Where would you go? A mere puppet with no mind or will left. Cut back over to Egghead, destroyed the sea beast weapons. And Kuma's going through. And again, all this happened the day before. So this was like before Kuma reached Egghead. And you're seeing all the sea beast weapons. We've landed on the Fabio phase. Secure the whole island. Admiral Kizaru has already breached the Labo phase, atop the clouds. I can see why. You're the man who defeated Kaido, is what Kizaru says. And continuing to say, very powerful stuff. However, I must ask, what brings a pirate like you to step in to protect a man like Vegapunk? That's what I'm asking. Why do you want to kill the Apple Man? I don't want to. Man, how far away did he fly? I don't want to kill him, obviously. I've known Vegapunk for a long time, so I'd appreciate you staying out of this. Acceleration is power. And you see what Luffy is doing, like just holding up holding up his like eye with his hand. He's like just like, let me rephrase that. Putting his hand like on top of him to just avoid the light that Kizaru is doing. I've completed the Vega Force 1, a giant robot, the dream of mankind. Let's see what goes through. And then you got Frankie screaming at Luffy. Oh. Whew. Frankie, Bonnie, run! Why? The Vega Force is about to, and as it goes on, explosion. That was Stussy talking, by the way. Damn it! No, our robot of dreams. How dare he? Is the Sunny all right? Straw Hat got knocked clean away. Kizaru, you monster! And Kizaru looks over to Bonnie and says, "Look how big you are now, Bonnie. Kids these days grow up so fast. Didn't you hate Vegapunk for what he did?" And Bonnie continues to say, "Well, there's an assassination order on his head now. The situation's changed. The situation's changed. My wrath has a new target. Sky Skewer. Careful." And still, I said Vegapunk, but still, Kizaru says, "I'd rather not hurt any acquaintances outside of my mission parameters." But Bonnie ain't having this. And Frankie says, "Hey, wait, not that way. Bonnie, curse you, Kizaru. Radical?" Cutting over. He's like, "Wait, huh? Wait, where'd he go? Oh, the Stella's in trouble." Look over. "Come in, control tower. Usopp." And you go back to the control tower, you see with Labo phase. So yeah, you got Stella. "Frankie, you okay? I heard a huge blast out here. Eureka, the code is cracked." "Really? In your face, York." And you see York just in the corner. "What? Damn it, no, stupid geniuses. Frankie, we can lower the barrier now. Are the are the Vega Force 1 and your ship around the back now?" About that." And Kizaru says, "Your escape plan is a failure, Vegapunk. I've blown your so-called giant machine of dreams to smithereens." As it goes down. "Ugh, Kizaru, when did you get here?" "We're goners." please understand. This is a very difficult for me too. I'd rather not draw it out. Boom. Ah, that hurt. And Luffy coming right in to grab Kizaru. Whew, that was a bit spicy. What? There it is. So this is the thing you do. Cut over. Thanks for knocking me down. Knocked me all the way down, jerk. Almost thought I was gonna die. Going through that barrier twice, and then you see the machine, and it's turned on. And that's the end of chapter 1092. Now, one thing I forgot to mention was the rating of what I was going to give the last chapter. So, the last chapter, 1091, I would honestly say it's an amazing chapter. It's an amazing chapter overall. Fight choreography, amazing. This chapter, just as amazing, if not a step higher, because you got to see Kuma versus Akainu, which is wow. That was actually incredible. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually a really, really incredible fight. And then, of course, just cutting back to this with Kizaru versus like the Straw Hats as they're trying to escape off the island. It was actually really, really not actually. It was amazing. And the way Oda like presents it and the way it's done, I mean, flames, just straight up flames. There's no better way for me to say it than that. It is flames. And I don't think anyone can deny that. But let's move forward. So we get an amazing chapter in 1091. Now we cut to 1092. Amazing plus. Now let's cut over to chapter 1093. Luffy versus Kizaru. Got a reader request. Cover spread of Kobe, Helmeppo, and what looks like animals? Yeah. Anyway. That being said, got Luffy in Gear 5 with the combination of swords. It's like a very huge, like not Super not Super Saiyan 5. But like he's huge. Super massively huge. Luffy, huh? Well, this is no good, is what Kizaru says. Now, let's not get carried away. But still, away! Look at him flying! Hurry! Let's run for now while Luffy's holding up Kizaru. Got this going on with Chopper saying, "Where are you going, Atlas?" I'm going down below to take control of the pacifists again. Otherwise, we'll be zapped by their lasers as soon as the barrier's down. That's the best idea, because for the moment, there's no higher authority here than Vegapunk. Whoever controls the pacifistas. And Vegapunk says, "Wait, Atlas, I'll go with you." Huh? What makes you think you're allowed to do that? Is what Usopp's saying. The whole thing is happening because people are after your life, man. And Vegapunk says, "Listen, Frankie. It seems like Bonney is down below now." She's alive? Glad to hear it, Kizaru kicked her. I'm glad to hear it. Kizaru kicked her right into the barrier, so I was worried. That's what he said. And they look over. How does a grown man like you let her get kicked? Sorry, my bad. I'll help her as soon as I can. But the barrier. And you look over. You see Sanji. This is Sanji speaking. If Bonnie if Bonnie needs to be rescued, I'm here. Honestly, knowing what we know now, and I know we're still kind of like building up to, I'm still like breaking this down all the way up until chapter 1103. But if you take this chapter into account now, and you look at where 1103 is, I wonder how Sanji's gonna be feeling. Like, honestly speaking, how is Sanji gonna react when it comes to this? Flat out honest question. How is Sanji gonna be feeling? Once he knows about the revelation. But that being said, we picked up all your so-called luggage for you, Vegapunk, is what Jinbei says. I'll head towards the rear exit. Let's all meet up there. Below in the Fabio phase. Stay away from the center of town. Got the Marines. We believe that pirate jewelry Bonnie's there. She's lurking somewhere. Watch out. She'll tweak she'll tweak your age. And you see exactly what happens. Darn it. Where'd she scamper off to? And you see Bonnie like just like trying to hold her breath, like find her and take her out. Damn it, I've spotted Sentamaru. He's burned to a crisp. Sentamaru. And you look to see what happens. And Sentamaru's there. She's like, Sentamaru? Bonnie. Run before the Navy gets here. Sentamaru? What? What do I do? Can I manage to stay hidden until it all blows away? Go to lava phase? What's that? Are you fighting Zo? Oh yeah. Are you fighting Zoro? Clank, clank. You want help. Just focus on Kizaru, man. And you see what's going on here between the two. I mean, yo. This is a pretty crazy fight, I ain't gonna lie. Honestly speaking, pretty crazy fight that's like taking place between with Zoro. Sorry that I'm kind of like I'm not spacing out, but yeah, like Zoro's fight against Lucci that we're seeing, great. And I know it's kind of been on that I've been mentioning that, but yeah, Zoro's fight against Lucci, pretty good so far. If this is the best you can do, I wouldn't expect to get a shot at fighting our captain. And Lucci says, we'll see. But the number two of an Emperor of the Sea is more than worth killing on his own. Hmm? Seem to be falling toward the ocean. And you see what he does. Yasakani's sacred jewel. Putting up what he's doing. You see Luffy over in the corner too. Well, what? And it's kind of like he kind of cloned himself like multiple times, like light clones. He summoned up like reflection clones of himself. And Luffy's like, wait, what? What's this? Amano Kuramaku's sword. No. Amano Murakuma. There we go. Amano Murakuma's sword. Whoa. Yo! Gum Gum. Dawn Whip. That was a hollow. Well, which one's the real one? Huh? Tricked ya. Gum Dawn Strap. Whew. Did I get the real one too? And poor Luffy. Poor Luffy. I do feel for him in this moment. I do. You see what goes down? He tricked me. Luffy! That's strange. Wherever could Vegapunk be? Huh? Wait, hang on. Let me in too, Vegapunk. That's what Sanji's saying. What's gotten into you? You look crazy. Don't you dare touch her, Navy. As you see Vegapunk in there. Hang on, Bonnie, I'm coming to save you. I won't leave. Like, keep this in mind. He says this. I won't leave that poor little child behind to die. And he got Luffy. Apple Man? Don't go into the open, he'll kill you. And Kizaru says, where do you think you're going, Vegapunk? But Luffy coming in, taking the brunt. It burns. And Frankie, I'll go too. Lilith, use Frankie to carry the ship. And Lilith says, okay. Alert Dr. Vegapunk has descended from the labo phase. And this is the coast of Egghead, by the way. Partially deactivating Frontier Dome. Reacting soon. Is what Chopper says. Attention all pacifistas. Vegapunk has new orders. Actually, it's not. Yeah. Wipe out all Navy sailors. And if only they knew what was there. Because what you got here, obviously Kuma's there. Okay, obviously Kuma is there. On the silent, and the very last panel we get is St. Jaygarcia Saturn. And the way Oda does this, I think is great. It's actually really, really great with how Oda does this because this will lead us into with where we are currently with it. But listen, 1091, amazing. 1092, amazing plus. This chapter, I'm gonna have to go with pure perfection. It was a pure perfection chapter, by all accounts. Now we get to chapter 1094. Beautiful color spread, by the way, of like Zoro. Actually, if I remember correctly, this is and I think that's Kuina, right? Yeah. So if I had to take a guess, this was probably like Zoro, like backstory and everything. And I think that's Hawkeye Mihawk in the back too. So nice, beautiful, like kind of description of like who Zoro is and like kind of like where he's been. Incredible. Anyway, into the chapter. Wipe out all the Navy sailors on the island. Got the 5 elders, Vegapunk, Centaur, Authority ship. And the chapter title for this one is called The 5 Elders, Godhead of Science and Defense, St. Jaygarcia Saturn. I've been saying that a lot, but yo, like, who St. Jaygarcia is? Incredible. Was that an order from Vegapunk? That's no good. And right then and there, you see what Kuma does. Kuma attacking. Stay away from the pacifistas. Huh? So it's like he's been programmed. Like, okay, I'm gonna take you guys out right here, right now. Going in for the approval. Huh? So, does this mean Vegapunk's come down from above? Up there. Search for Bonney Atlas. Bonney! That's what Atlas is saying. How is this thing driving straight down? We should be falling. By their nature, island clouds will clump together. Bonney! Well, where are you? And this is Sanji talking, by the way. And Vegapunk goes on to say, the tires of the Vega tank are made of island clouds, which means we will not plummet off. And then you got Sanji saying, I found her. And Frankie says, you did? Sanji, when has my... Again, I wonder how Sanji's going to feel after the whole revelation comes out. When has my Lady Radar ever been wrong? That sounds very unscientific, but I'll take it on faith. Thanks, pal. Only problem is, this tank ain't up to my speed. I gotta go check on her. And Sanji, like, blitzing over ASAP. Bonney, The pirates over here. Good thing the pacifists are on our side now. And speaking of things I gotta turn off, let me turn off my mail app. That way it's not going off like every 5 or 10 minutes. But you see what's going on over here. Bonnie's like getting ready. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a pretty badass shot. I'm not gonna lie, with just her like taking out people. It was cool. I see Jewelry Bonnie, and she again doing what she does. NDE, near death experience. But see what goes down. I collapse. What's wrong with you? I saw the river Styx. Get back here, Bonnie. No, escape. No escape for you. And then you see Kuma, you see Bonnie. Huh? Why? Navy QHQ Vice Admiral Bluegrass, who's like in control of Kuma. I can control an individual regardless of anything else. As a driver with the ride fruit, I can take a ride on anything and anyone. It sounds kind of, it's not broken, I wouldn't say, but it's convenient. I'll say this, like, with a fruit ability like that, take control of anything and anyone. Mm, more so it's just riding on anything or anyone, but man, I could just imagine right now just doing that, just like, okay, you know what? Let's just go. Shoot, I wouldn't even need the car. That would just tell the car to drive by itself, and I'll be fine. It's like, all right, like you sit in the car, you just tap your hand, you're like, okay, let's go. That's it. That's all you'd have to do. If I kill you, will that undo the curse you put on our soldiers? And she looks at and like as Kuma is about to deal the blow, Bonnie thinks back. Dad, give back their proper ages. Come on, Bonnie, don't start spacing out now. Oh, Blackleg. I heard about how Kuma's your old man, but you gotta be smarter than this, or else you'll Otter Hammer. And and I kind of like what he's doing over here because like he's in a sense kind of rescuing Bonnie to a degree. He's saying, "Let's get out of here." And then he says, "Sanji, Bonnie, get on." They go, punk. The pacifists are on our side now. We're heading back up, is what Atlas says. Labo phase. Then you go cut back over to the fight between Luffy and Kizaru. Listen, I'm sorry, but if I spend all my time on you, I can't fulfill my mission. And Luffy says, yeah, that's my mission. I can't have that. Hey, wait up. Got Luffy, got Zoro, got Lucci. And Jinbei looks over like, hey, what is this unearthly presence? And you got Usopp, Choppa, and then you got Nami. Hurry, hurry! It can't be! Pacifista, stand down. And man, what happened here was something else. I mean, to say something else is an understatement. Let me say that right now. To say something else is a huge, massive understatement. What's this? The pacifists aren't escorting us anymore. Hey, follow your orders. Why? The only thing above us on the authority hierarchy is the 5 elders. A magic pentagram. This is odd. Look, let's hurry on up. Something is coming. Alert to all units on location. Saint Saturn of the Five Elders is disembarking on Egghead. What? The Five Elders? Commandeers and below aren't even allowed to have an audience with them. What's with that explosion? The Five Elders? They've come all the way here? Five what? They're the highest authority in the world. That's what Vegapunk says. And Frankie's like, say what? And Sanji, actually not Sanji, he still says, we've got to get out of here. Hold on tight. As that goes on, Sanji notices and says something's coming out of that circle. What is that monster? Don't say that. I have a feeling that's. And you see the man standing before everybody. Ah, the surface. It has been such a long time. Highest authority in the world. The Five Elders. Godhead of science defense. Saint Jaygarcia Saturn. We'll go over to see what happens. What is that horrible thing? Up above, watch out. Bonney was talking first, and the other one was Sanji. The island clouds. Then you see Kizaru, is what Luffy says. Oops, so close. Huh. Stop right there, Kizaru. You must be reaching your limit by now, is what he says. And Frankie says, please, Luffy, do something. That's what I'm. Gum? Huh? Star gun. I'm seeing stars. As it's going on, Luffy says that's my limit. Actually, that's not Luffy, that's Vegapunk. Vegapunk says that's my limit. Luffy and Vegapunk. Not Vegapunk. Sorry. Look, I'm coming off yesterday from a pretty. Let's just say football was not super kind yesterday. So my rhythm's somewhat off today. But you guys ain't Jaygarcia. Looking over and saying, Nika. Looking over. And yo, I'm not gonna lie. Look, St. Jaygarcia is kind of cool, but when you see like the actual full appearance, especially like legs, I'm like, bro, like, what are you? This man over here, like, what is he? And Luffy's like taking out like fat. You okay? Vegapunk? Atlas, are you hurt? I'm fine. And Vegapunk's the Saint Saturn. Indeed. I thought we already killed you, Vegapunk. As that goes on, Bonney notices I gave you an order, Vegapunk. And Sanji saying, Bonney, no! He must not have any will left. But that don't mean Kuma is, and right as these last few panels hit, Bonney steps in to stab Saturn, Saint Saturn. And you see like tears falling off her eyes. That's how this chapter ends. That is how this chapter, chapter 1094, ends. And yo, I know I've been saying this for a while. Oda's been killing it. This arc alone, Egghead, so far, like how far am I into this live stream so far? Almost 45 minutes in. And we're still like maybe 9 chapters left on this live stream catch-up discussion. But he is doing wonders. This chapter is no exception of that. Look, 1091, amazing chapter. 1092, amazing plus. 1093, pure perfection in this chapter. I mean, look, I was gonna go for amazing plus, but really, Saint Jaygarcia like stepping in like that and making an impact, that definitely boosts it up to pure perfection by all leaps and bounds. But let's go further. 1095. Better off dead in this world. Get a nice, amusing cover page, by the way, of like Buggy chasing a monkey. A reader request, by the way. I'm sorry, a squirrel monkey, according to this. And it's not even the fact that he stole an apple, he stole Buggy's nose. Anyway, Saint Saturn has disembarked. All units but vice and rear admirals maintain distance from the island center. Avert your eyes from his holy form. What? When did he come ashore and how? I've only seen them in portraits. What are those flashes of lightning? The admirals themselves will act for a single celestial dragon. And these are the pinnacle of those gods. I like how they kind of had that emboldened. Pinnacle. You mean one of them came all the way here from Marishwa? And then you got Saturn looking over, and he says, Bonney, what have you done? Saint Saturn, she stabbed the elder. That man stands atop the very world itself. Ready yourselves. And Vegapunk screams, Bonnie. And still, like, you see, like, the grit in Bonnie's teeth. Like, as she's, like, breaking down. And Saturn goes on, pipe down, you insects. If I were afraid of her sword, I would have avoided it. And what happens next? I mean, words cannot describe with the stuff that's about to go down here because he legitimately holds Bonnie in his clutches. And Sanji screams, Bon, and without a second of hesitation, he smacks Sanji away. Sanji! And he pulls the sword that Bonnie stabbed him with out. And it heals, and Frankie even brings note of this. Like, did the blood vanish? Huh? Seize Vegapunk's group now, while we have the chance. Wait, you fools! Don't be hasty. They cannot escape. Just ready your weapons. Yes, sir. This is rather sluggish work by your standards, Kizaru. This is what Saturn says. I'm sorry. I've failed you. I don't think I'll be mobile anytime soon. I think I can understand why. And what he does? Like, this man was about to off key. He was about to off Kizaru. I'm gonna just say this right now. If that's what had happened, holy shit. Like, Egghead, I mean, what we get afterwards is still obviously pretty good, but like, you want to talk about like mad impact. That would have been something. But instead, that's not what happens. Frankie pushes him out of the way. Strong right. Oh, I see. A pirate crew that cooperates. So even the guys who rule the world want our captain's head, huh? Straw Hat Luffy, Jewelry Bonnie. We fail to anticipate your presence here. But if your fate is strong enough to escape this desperate situation, I would very much like to see it. And he also goes on to say, and you, Vegapunk, your betrayal is most disappointing, but your great service to our military is appreciated. Which of you should die first? Tell me from the least to most painful. You want to die with nothing but regret for your rebellion against the world government. Why is it that human beings need to do what they are explicitly forbidden from doing. And he's like choking, legitimately like crushing Bonnie. And Sanji says, "No, stop. Can anyone else move?" "No, I can't. It's like I'm being held down." Sanji said the first word, and Frankie said the other one. And Vegapunk says, "If this is not science, then it must be devil fruit powers." "Oh no, but Bonnie." And she goes on to say, like, "You killed my father, Saturn." And he says, "Kuma? You mean? He was born into a slave caste. The descendant of a clan that once committed a grave crime against the world. Huh? The last survivor of the extinct buccaneer people." And that like throws Vegapunk off like, "Wait, what? Nani? Bonnie? Ever since I was a boy, I wanted to become a hero who could save the imprisoned and suffering. Just like the Nika, the warrior of liberation. Aim for the head, man." Nika. That's right, he's my idol. He appears from the blue with laughter and this rhythm. Doom. Da 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 doom. Da 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 da. That's kind of funny. I can imagine how that would go with the anime adaptation. Honestly speaking, I could really imagine that. "Bonnie, leave her alone," says what Sanji says. And then you got Vegapunk here, who's kind of been saying this for a bit of time now. "She's still just a child. Will he come and free me too?" Is what she thinks back to. And it's something she was asking Kuma, her father. And he says, "Of course." And you go back in time. Flashbacks, by the way. 47 years ago. South Blue, 4-bit kingdom. Whoa, whoa, it's a big, healthy boy. Congratulations. I'm so glad you've come out to see us. Kuma! It's a baby Kuma. Doctor? His blood. Don't worry, I won't speak a word of it. He's a healthy boy. I'm sorry, Clap. Run for your life. Government agents showed up at the hospital. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's me. I'm the one who has Buccaneer blood. But my wife does not. Let her and my son go free. Please. It's alright, dear. It'll be alright. We got a Buccaneer slave. Got these asshats over here. The celestial dragons of all people. See his strength for being so young? Why don't you move faster? That hurts. I'm sorry. Stop bawling or I'll kill you. Hi there, Kuma. How are you doing? Hi, Dad. My master is so kind and I'm gentle. I'm very, very lucky. Your mother's dead, son. She's in heaven. But I think she's better off that way. Listen, Kuma. You are strong. You can survive this. Why? I'd rather be dead too. The warrior of liberation will come. He'll show up and save you. Who? The sun god Nika. He's a legendary warrior whose story is told throughout our Buccaneer heritage. One day he'll show up and take you out under the sun to the freedom of the sea. Nika is always smiling and laughing. And his rhythm brings laughter to the people. Doom, da da da, doom, da da da, doom. Again, just singing the whole thing. Pipe down! And then you actually go even a bit further in time. So you went from 47 years now to what looks like to be 39 years in the past, 38 years. So, yeah, it's been at least like a 9-year jump. You have to wait 3 long years. You've waited 3 long years. So now it is time for our great sport. The native hunting competition. Our arena this time shall be the unaffiliated land of God Valley. Ruh! This place, which has the audacity to name itself the Valley of Gods, possesses ample natural resources. We will hold our customary manhunt here and claim this island for the world government. How dare you? You intend to kill my people for a game? It's insanity. This is our land, Your Majesty. Ugh. And I mean, like, I'm gonna just say this right now. This is pretty fucked up. This is pretty fucked up. Just taking it all into consideration. They kill a man. Oh, not so fast, Saint Garling. No head starts? He's already struck down the king of the natives. Heavy favorite St. Garling will start with negative 10,000 points? The handicap will make for better competition. Holy Knight for Garland Garling. In addition to the rabbit natives, we have a selection of problem slaves and criminals to hunt. They've caught the escaped child, sir, the Buccaneer boy, and obviously it's Saint Jaygarcia. Damn you for running away. They're going to hold all 10 of us responsible for you. If you escape, they'll kill every last one of us. And what we get from here. Hey, hold it right there. You must be the grand prize, the Buccaneer. Oh, no wonder you're so big. You got giant's blood, I hear. And he looks over, and you see another slave. You see Ginny. But you also get something else. My bro is pretty. As soon as she said this, I was like, "Wait, what? My bro's pretty big too. Only my face. Hey, shut up. Look at those gloomy, miserable faces. Well, I choose life. What about you? And who you get, bro? Who you get with this? Ivankov. Holy shit. And I mean, this is quite a ways to end off a chapter. I will say that right now. And I'm going to just say this right now just to jump straight to the next chapter. Pure perfection once again. Definitely pure perfection. And I'm not just saying that just for shits and giggles. If you get a pure perfection rating, especially by my standpoint, my own scale, then you know it's peak. Okay? It's peak. There's no debating that. None whatsoever. But we move forward to chapter 1096. Kumachi. We see what goes on. We've already introduced the 13 rare rabbits. They're worth 10,000 points each. They're also 150 rare rabbits. One hit kills will earn you an excellence bonus. And we have some very fine prizes indeed for the champion. Watch this, children. That trophy will belong to the Man Mayor family. You won't win this one, Garling. You can't do this. It's unconscionable. Wake up from this nightmare. Human beings shouldn't treat other humans as toys. Not so fast, boys. Obey the rules. No. My child! Meanwhile, there are 200 world noble hunters. The hunt will begin in an hour. Run and hide, rabbits. Go back to Navy headquarters. You just kind of see what's going on here. And I'm going to kind of sort of speed along here. Because I know we're like already like an hour deep in, but I think it's fitting that I kind of go through. But we see what goes down on Full Island. They got the jump on us. We got to catch them. Come on. This is a huge deal in the pirating world. God Valley West Blue. The island surrounded. I've never seen this many ships before. Huff. Of course, there's no escape. The reality of this atrocity itself will be erased from history. They've concocted the sick murder game to drive off the inhabitants of this island so they can take its resources. Would you believe that the 100,000 rabbits who live on this island will all be dead to the very last man in just 3 weeks? Is this real life or is this hell? But if we can survive the next 3 weeks, we'll be free. Stop dreaming, fool. The number of survivors of all these games combined is zero. But why would they tell us to just give up hope? Because it's the hope that makes us struggle and run. What's so fun about killing people who only fall to the ground in abject despair? Don't waste your time dreaming of salvation in this sick game. We have to escape the game itself. St. Garland already has a hundred thousand points. Is he going for the high value rabbits? Kind of see what goes on here. You got Ivankov. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for those mighty jaws, my fishman friend. Well, thank you. No one's ever said that to me before. And then you got Ginny. The prizes for the event are the key to our escape. Prizes? We got one of the most powerful devil fruits in existence. It allows whoever eats it to transform into mythical Azure dragon. And also the pawpaw fruit, which allows the user to send others and themselves to to distant islands. They're both here on God Island. I said God Island. God Valley. If any of us can eat them, the dozens of us here can get past the Navy blockade and escape this hell. No, we can't. The prizes are in the center of this island. That was Ivanko talk. And one of them was like just arguing back. But Jenny says, but I'm a pro at thieving, tapping, and transmission. 2 weeks ago, I managed to send a message about the island to the outside. And hurts, and maybe someone heard it. Anyway, for our plan, we're going to need a decoy. And then you got Kuma just raising his hands, saying, I'll do it. Ivalko's like, Kuma, I'm big and hardy, so I can survive longer than others. I don't want to see anyone die. Anyway. Yeehaw! Well said, Kuma. I won't let them kill you. Let's get off God Valley together. What was that? It's the rock pirates. East of the island. But why? It's not just them either. There are more ships coming. They're all infamous pirates. Why didn't we hear about this? What do they want? Fire the cannons. You waste your time, Navy. Follow me, rock pirates. And dude, like the lineup you get here is insane. Not so fast, Rocks. Who said I was your follower, fool? And who we get over? I mean, we get the lineup. Like, holy shit. Okay, you got Big Mom. You got Prime Kaido in the back. And then, of course, we got Whitebeard himself, Edward Newgate over here. Along with a few other folks, too. Oh, Newgate, not you, too. I assume it's finders keepers. They'll be mine. That's what Lilin says. And Kaido's like, but you can't do anything with them, Lilin. Same to you, Gloriosa. Whew, that's my treasure. See what happens. I just know that full rocks will lose sight of the goal. We have to be certain first. Stop acting like you're the leader here. Blow them all up. Let's just steal what we're after and scram. All these dreamers with their heads in the clouds. And then you got Kaido. I hear Roger's on the move. He's the last person I'll let. Calm down, kid. Today's the final fight, I assume. That's the idea. Well, we'll settle it once and for all. See what happens here. The Rocks pirates have made landfall. What are the Navy doing? If they lay a single finger on us, reporting in. Pirate crews are converging. Oh, sorry. From all over. How did it get out? This was top secret. Their purpose here is unclear. Watch out on the western shore. Pretty much what we have here is like an onslaught of what goes down. Okay? You got one of the other saints here, Garleen. Like, as this whole thing is breaking down, Roger's there too. Yeah, Roger's also there. You got Rogers, you got Rayleigh. Like, bro, everyone's here. Like, if you want to talk about like hype, this is definitely hype. By all accounts, this definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, hype. By all accounts, that is what this is. And it is like incredible. I'll be taking that one. Eat Kuma, like pretty much like he found one of the devil fruits. Eat the fruit and save yourself. We just need one survivor. And then we've won. So you pretty much got the Navy versus like the Rock Pirates. You got Rogers there too. And while all that's going down, they're like, cool. Now like we can get out of here. And then we won. Let's see what goes on here. The Buccaneer Boy. Your only options are slavery and death. History itself chose them for you. Are you important, mister? Is what he asks. He's like, doesn't make sense that you were born important. And there's no reason for someone to be born a slave. If I've got some kind of power, then I want to be like Nika and save as many of these unfortunate people as I possibly can. Which is why you people will vanish for good. Wait, rocks! Out of my way, Rogers. This event would be lost to the shadows of dark history. And then we flash forward to Sober Kingdom, South Blue. The only news story is the legend of Garp's heroics. They won't print anything else. Just what the powerful want. This is Morgan's right. This Morgan's writer is such a hack. We still have no idea what happened. Let's see. Still have no idea what happened on that island. We are still praying. Kuma. Why are you still praying, Kuma? I'm thinking of the other lives I could have saved. Knock it off. Amidst all the chaos and violence, you saved over 500 lives back there. That's right, Kumaochi. You were amazing. Give me just 1 second, guys. I'm going to be right back. It'll be super quick. Alrighty. So, wasn't too long. Just had a brief phone call. That's why I have to like mute it for just a small bit. But anyway, you see what's going on here. That's right, Komochi, you're amazing. And then you got Jenny crying. Everybody was crying with gratitude. Even I was. And then you got Ivankov. And now you've got hands of liberation that set people free. The hands of liberation. You see like the paw that's in his hand. So your family ran a church. It explains so much about you. Well, it's time for me to go to sea. I've got to make most of this freedom. For as long as I live, Eva, I'll never forget your face. And that's what Kuma says. And then you got Ginny. I'm gonna stay here with Kumochi and figure out what to do with my life, bro. No one ever has, is what Ivankov says. So I think it's actually kind of interesting. So when you really take that into consideration, Ginny is not only the sister of Ivankov, but when you look at it, considering with the fact that her and Kuma got together, like that makes Ivankov like even more closely related to Kuma and that her family, in-laws, pretty much. If you look at it, we see what happens. So long, friends. Okay, I'm 4 years older, so it's up to me to feed little Kumochi. Huh? Split those legs, Kumochi! Let's get selling! No more digging through the trash. No more stealing. We'll buy our own food. See what happens? Huh? You're 9? You're a liar. You're a monster. And you see her just like pulling out the stops, and Kuma's like, Jenny, well, sorry about that. Jenny's actually very nice. Oh, it's better. That plane just flew away. Was that magic? Kumachi, Kumachi. Chomp, chomp. Punch, scarf, gobble, chop. Not enough. For me? Yummy! You eat so much, Jenny. We got a lot of work to do. When did they turn you into a slave, Kumoji? 4. Hey, me too. It's not something to celebrate. I'm so full. Hmm? So full. What, Jenny? Kumachi! What? Don't cry, Jenny. I'm so happy. And that is actually the end of chapter 1096. So, this chapter was really good. By all intents and accounts, it was actually really, really good. Not even just good. Let me rephrase that. Good is an understatement. Same as great is an understatement too. Amazing plus chapter. Amazing plus chapter, and I'm gonna bump it just slightly to a pure perfection. Simply because of like what we got. Because we were kind of aware to some extent of what went down between the rock spiders, but now we're getting like a little bit more insight into like the history of the things that went down on the island. And again, like it's not necessarily like the blank century per se, but you kind of get an understanding of like, okay, so there's more stuff, like more pieces that's like, it's like what happened. So I think when you get stuff like that, it's actually interesting. But yeah, no, like honestly speaking, it's another pure perfection chapter, and really like just getting this backstory on Kuma, like leading up to the Bonney stuff. Like really, that's what we're getting here. Like, and when you look at like chapter 1097, and I'm sorry it's taken a while, guys, but like where I live right now, like it's like kind of like pretty chilly. That's not even an understatement. It is actually like really really chilly out here. But also, Just crazy. But chapter 1097 is titled Ginny. Reader request, you got Bartholomew Kuma catching salmon in the river. So you see Kuma, a little bit more older now, actually, catching fish. And, who we assume, not even assume, that's pretty much Jenny right there. We just don't see her face. But yeah, some time has passed by. Another 8 years have passed by after the God Valley incident. It's been 30 years. Kumachi, I need your help. I've been coming here since your father's generation. It was such a shock when he vanished up and when he up and vanished. And this is the Shorbit Kingdom, South Blue. But I'm so glad to see his son growing into such a great pastor. I'm sure your parents are happy wherever they are now. And we see Kuma's a pastor at age 17. It's nothing but old folks in this poor kingdom. Oh, it's so much better now. Thanks, my boy. My back is killing me. Oh, what a blessing it is. The miracle hands. But couldn't extend hours to the couldn't you extend hours to the weekdays too? Absolutely not. Only on Sunday. And of course, like I said, some time has passed by, and we see Ginny. You're asking a lot for people who aren't paying us any money. Behave, you greedy old beggars. Oh no, it's Ginny the cheapskate. Shut up. This isn't a campground or a hospital. So pretty, but so foul now. From what I hear, the men in town can't stop eyeing on her. I mean, she is 21. It's not exactly. What's the word I want to use here? I mean, look. She looked good. I'm gonna say that. She looked good. Can't blame them for thinking that way. But then again, she's already got Kumachi. The sight of Kumachi's face will make me feel at ease. That's so sweet of you. They act this way because you spoiled them, Kumachi. Then I'd give you as much money as I could, Kumachi. But it was already hard enough to get by while paying the heavenly tribute. And now we've got this new king, don't we? They see that King Bakori is a cruel man with a heart of stone. If we get sick, we can't pay our share of the heavenly tribute. And then he'll throw us in jail. It's a travesty, I tell you. The last geezer they tossed in a cell, starved to death, I hear. Starved. He won't even pay to feed the prisoners. Stupid skinflint king. I always knew he was bad. The way he bows and scrapes to the celestial dragons, we have to be healthy or it's a death sentence. Well, I can help by removing any light illnesses or pain you're feeling. Come every Sunday. Thank you, Kumachi. That's what the citizens say. Look over, and he's like, just catch it. Like, whoo. And what goes on over here? He like screams, like, ah, and you got Ginny like just like covering her face, like, and she's crying after what happened. Like every week you do this, they have no idea how much you suffer from them. There is no other choice. That massive pain and suffering won't disappear until someone accepts it. If left untouched, it makes its way back to the original person. But more than the pain, I feel delighted to see their happiness. I'm sorry to put you through this anguish. I'll toughen up and be stronger. is what Kuma says to Ginny. And she's like, but that's not the issue. They gave us some food, didn't they? Let's eat. Yay, food! And see what goes on. You see some people in the background too. At least not people, but like just a silhouette of sort of the town. And you see them like enjoying food. Kuma's looking at, or I should say, Ginny's like enjoying the food that was being passed down. Kuma's smiling. Bit more time has passed by now. So it's been another 5 years. 25 years ago. Kuma's now 22. And she's like, let's get married, Kumachi. What? No! Why not? Marry me, damn it. You know you love me. And she's like, I'll make you happy. I'm sure you would, but it's me. I'm the one who has Buccaneer blood. My wife, and because he's thinking back to like what happened with his dad. Like, but my wife does not. Let her and my son go free. I don't want to bring you misery. And as it's going on, he he kind of dodges it a little bit and says, "Look, another article about the freedom fighters. They've caused protests in several countries, and now they're wanted by the authorities. Dragon, he's so cool. I bet he must be somebody's hero. I bet. One day I want to go out to sea and use my life to help others too. Are you in there?" And like Ginny looks over, it's the people. It's like it's the lovely Jenny. We've caught a huge haul today. Please take some fish. And Kuma's like, thank you. And like as that happens, you got his ear taken off a little. Not taken off, but she throws something like, ow, dummy. 3 years pass by, 22 years ago, disaster struck. Give your prisoners back. Help us, Kumachi. You dare defy the royal army? Who is the monstrous lug? Is what one of the officers says. Royal City Sorbet. Kingdom Kuma at age 25. So already just a few years have passed by. I'm a pastor from a church in the south. Well, Father, I'm sure you've heard that the laws have changed. Now we're free to do what we want with the people from the south. You're turning them into slaves? It's an unforgivable sin. This is rebellion. Your Majesty, I must admit, this policy is going over poorly with the people of the realm. Don't worry. They'll soon be led astray by labels and look down their noses at the south. Starting to think only the north part of the island is the actual Sorbet Kingdom. The world government determines the amount of heavenly tribute owned by the number of citizens. In other words, the South, with all of its old people who cannot pay their tribute, should be cut loose. And in doing so, the country will be prosperous and balanced. My left foot, it would be. Jeez. No way in hell that's how it would go down. Sorry, guys. I'm okay. It's just as I'm going through this breakdown, and I'm going through like my jug of water, it is a lot. Why are you in here too? And Jenny says, we're clamoring for them to let you go. And then beat us to a pulp. Jenny, I'm afraid our land is turning into a place of the haves and haves not. King Bakori is just a tool of the celestial dragons. This whole plan came down from someone above him. If we fight back, who are, and then as this is going down, okay, you see what happens. There's an explosion. Run, your majesty. You won't escape. You sad imitation of a celestial dragon. He makes my blood boil. The king's given in. The enslavement policy is no more. I'm so glad. I didn't want to live like this. Through someone's interference, the sober kingdom avoided disaster. And who we get is freaking Dragon. Whoo! Dragon is here. Okay. The freedom fighters led in protest. Actually, wait. Before I get there. Before I get to that panel, there's still one more above that. This man you're infatuated with is certainly a wild one. You'll be impressed with him, Dragon. Kuma! Ginny, so you've been in prison, huh? I'm here to get you out. What? Is that you, bro? And he's like, Iva. And is that. Listen up, Kuma. If you're still the same man as that boy back then, come with us and change the world. And that's how you get this panel over here. This nice panel shot. The revolutionaries themselves. Okay? The freedom fighters led protests in countries around the world after the arrival of the great era of piracy and the tragic fall of O'Hara. The group took up arms, and with the addition of Kuma to the twin pillars of Dragon and Ivango, they underwent a transformation and became the Revolutionary Army. The world would later know and fear. Yeehaw, she says, I'm going to. Great panel shot, by the way. Let me just say that right now. This is an astounding, beautiful cover shot. Panel, I should say. Anyway. But we're not done with the chapter yet. Because Dragon says, we still lack a solid source of funds. The plan is to act like mercenaries and lead our strength to rebellious elements seeking to overthrow their kings. Those who wish to join will be taught how to use weapons and fight with them. One day, I want to raise us into a massive armed force scattered across the globe. How did you learn to use weapons, Dragon? I spent some time in the Navy. Sadly, I couldn't find any of the justs they wear on their backs. It's strange to be at odds when both the Navy and the revolutionaries just want to help people. Well, I'm with you all the way, Dragon. You won't regret it. Oh, is Kumachi back? I'll return now and then make sure you're alright. That's so sweet. And then 8 more years pass by. And it's been some time now. Now it's been a little bit more time. 14 years ago. Yeah, so we had a bit of a massive jump now. So we went from 25 years now. And now it's 14. So 14 years ago in a certain country. Oh, you look so happy, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, I said Jimmy. Ginny. Oh, is it showing? Tomorrow's the big day. We're gonna meet up with Kumachi's group. Remember? I can't wait. Wish you were. I wish I were Captain Kuma. He gets the affection of everyone's crush. What? Don't crush on me, you creeps. Grow up. What a mouth. Revolutionary headquarters, Baltigo. Dragon, come in. Dragon. Ginny's been captured. I'm sorry. The enemy caught us unawares. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Like, leaving off on this cliffhanger was kind of big. It was a huge deal. Like, I remember reading this chapter. Getting to this point, I was like, bro, what is going to happen? Like, what is going to happen with this? Because ending it off here already was nuts. It was really nuts. And honestly, I just gotta say it. I honestly just gotta say it. Pure perfection. Pure perfection by all accounts. Still going. Chapter 1098, Bonnie's birth. The birth of Bonnie occurs now on 1098. And keep in mind, this flashback's been going on since what? 1095? At least? Let's go back. Yeah. So this flashback starts at 1095. So it's been like at least a few chapters now. And I'm not complaining, by the way. This is actually cool. Like, you'd think going through all like these flashbacks that so much has happened. But really? Like, not so much, but like we've gone through like multiple chapters, but the way Oda structured it, he's been doing a great job. He's been doing a really, really great job at what's going on. And really, like you're getting a sense of of what Kuma's life was like from the day he was born, his situation in life, and now all of this leading up to Bonnie. I think is incredible. Anyway, Bonnie's birth. Revolutionary HQ Baltico. Requesting aid. The rebellion in Tommy in the South Blue is overmatched. We cannot go. Our ship's already loaded. With the injured from Goa Kingdom. And Kuma says, I'll go. Don't even think of it. You've been pushing yourself too hard. Ever since then, huh? He's huge. Who is that? Where'd he come from? And he thinks back, like, oh shit, Jenny's been captured. That's right. It seems a celestial dragon had his eye on her, and she's been taken. She was taken on a government ship to be that celestial dragon's wife. We won! Finally, 3 years of war has paid off at last, and it's all thanks to the Revolutionary Army. Our unit was wiped out by a surprise attack. It's the Revs again. The Revolutionary Army are the true heroes of the people. I'm sorry. It's me, Dragon. I'm tired. I'll take a ship home. Sorry. Ginny, a captain of the Revolutionary Army, was abducted and made into a celestial dragon's wife. Roughly 2 years later. It's been a few years. Wait here, Bonnie. Kuma! Come quick, it's from Ginny. What? I'm back, Kumachi, back to the lower world. Jenny? Uh, I got sick. See, they didn't want me anymore. They dumped me off. Lucky me, huh? Sick? I really wish I could see all of you, but this is me saying goodbye. Huh? What are you saying, Ginny? I thought I'd never see you again. Where are you? I'll be there once. I'm sorry, Kumachi. I'm dying. It won't be long now. What? I appreciate your concern, but it won't. But don't come looking for me. Dragon, big bro, watch over Kumachi. He's too kind for his own good. There's only one place she'd come back to. Hey, Kuma! And Kumachi, just remember, I'll always. And, man, dude, I'm not gonna lie. This shit actually hit deep. This hit really, really deep. Kuma. No, okay. I'll always love you. Click. Kuma! You're back. Where's Jenny? Is she here? She is, but her face and body, all of her skin, turns blue and hard as stone. It has been exposed to the natural light. She said, "Cool," and he thinks back to all this. He's like, Kumachi, I'm so happy. I wonder what happened to her. Let's get married, Kumachi. I'll make you happy. She crossed the sea by day to ensure her baby lived. In case anything happened to herself, somehow she made it here safely. Oh, don't worry, Jenny. I'll raise your daughter. So, not essentially in the sense that Kuma's like her own like biological dad, but more so like, you know, he raised her because she raised Bonnie, given the fact of, he knows how much Jenny loved her and it is her daughter. So he owes it to her. No, all wrong. The bottle's at the wrong angle. You're drowning you're drowning poor Bonnie in milk? Here, let me do it. Like this? She's so darling, she needs an iron cage to sleep in. If you roll over, you'll crush her. And this is actually pretty wholesome. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually really, really wholesome. Oh, look at her go. She's a champion drinker. She's got Jenny's appetite. Not enough, and he just thinks back to everything. Daddy! Hmm? And you see a really, really little young Bonnie. And you see like what's what Kuma's doing, like being kind of like the father figure to her. And it's actually sweet. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, look at this. He's sleeping. Bonnie's there, like in the cage. You got Sabo too. I mean, like, what more do you need than that? What are you doing, man? Why shutter all the windows in the church? Shut the door. Look, below her eye, a blue stone. Wait, is that what killed Ginny? I'll call the doc. Please do. Really? When you go into sunlight, let's take you for a test. Don't you dare. Well, it's not white lead disease. I'm sorry, I don't recognize this one. You're quitting the revolutionaries? Bonnie's got the same disease, is what Ivanko says. And Kuma says yes. I don't know what to do, but I want to be with her. Very well. Live without regrets. We'll ask every doctor in the world that we can. And that was Dragon Talk, which Kuma says I appreciate that, Dragon. A little bit of time passed by. Now it's 7 years ago. Bonnie's age 5. Run away! Don't get eaten by the vampire. And it's Bonnie like just chasing after kids. Like kids at her age at the time. Get lost and don't get found. Stupid brats. Bonnie, age 5. Ugh, you can't come this far. You're a vampire who can't come into the light. Take this cross, shining. And honestly, like, look, I don't think I've mentioned this enough, but I do love Bonnie's personality, especially here, because what you get? She says, "This is a church, idiot." Ow! You want me to chase you out there? Wait, Bonnie. Please don't go outside. Even the doorway makes me nervous. She's like, "You're such a chicken daddy." Just kidding with them. Well, don't do it, even if it's a joke. I won't. I don't want to make you sad. Oh, you're grown up to be such a good girl. And she's like, "Stop it, crybaby." You know what they did? They made fun of my my face. Stones again. Is it weird? It's a disease. I can't help it. What, your jewels? Yikes. They're just jealous because it makes you look so beautiful. And Bonnie's like, "You think so? Yes, I love them." After you're cured, Bonnie, if we went on a ship, not a ship, if we went on a trip, where would you want to go? Hmm, you know about Sky Islands? There are islands in the sky? That's right. I saw it in the book. Maybe Nika will be there, since it's so close to the sun. I bet you'd be excited about that, Daddy. Doom, da da, doom, da da. That's kind of amusing. But the sky would be a huge adventure. Maybe we'll do that once you're 20. And here was And where was your 19th going to be? Fishman Island! I'm afraid that what your daughter has is an incurable disease known as sapphire scales. You know what it is? But please not so loud. I've only heard of a few cases in recent memories. All kinds of natural light, sunlight, moonlight cause the stone to spread. But if you block the cause entirely, it'll eventually spread over time. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, sir. Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. She won't see her 10th birthday, and there is no known cure yet. Age 10? It can't be. She's healthy. Is there really no way to stop the disease? And as that's going on, I love how Bonnie's in the corner and she says, "Boo!" Like, Bonnie, I thought you were asleep. I heard that. Well, what about H10? H10? Well, what do you mean? I heard you say H10. Wait, are you crying? Is it about me? Oh yes, H10. H10. Would you believe that the doctor told me that you won't get better until you reach age 10? Huh? It seems so far away. I was feeling a little down about this. So I'm gonna be better when I'm 10? And then I can go around the world with you? Oh no, what do I do now? I mean, I get what Kuma was trying to do. He was trying to you know, um, make the situation better, but in doing so, you know, the that happened. It's like he kind of upped the stakes a little bit more because of that. Of course, you'll be better when you're 10. Yay! And he's just thinking what have I done? False hope, man. That's the gist of what's going on. Is false hope. 1 year later, the nightmare returned to Sober Kingdom. Kumachi, you have to help. King Bakori's gone and done it again. It's 16 years ago all over again. He's gonna burn everyone he thinks is weighing the country down. He's inhuman, I tell you. They're slaughtering folks in the streets. Huh? And that's the end of chapter 1098. Which, I mean, interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Really, really interesting stuff that we've been getting throughout this entire live stream discussion. And again, I know it's just me so far, just breaking down each of the chapters. But I am kind of discussing each of these chapters while I'm breaking it down. And what we've been getting thus far, peak. It's been peak so far. Okay? And again, just getting these little bits and details of what happened back then. Not just from, from Bonnie's past, but also just going from Kuma's past, the meeting with Dragon, how the revolutionaries, all that stuff was great. And even just seeing what this chapter encaptures with the bond between Kuma and Bonnie. It's some pretty deep stuff. And for that I gotta give it, at the very least, once more, pure perfection. And with that said, let's move on to chapter 1099. We're getting close, guys. We're getting real, real close. Really, really close. You've done enough, Kuma. There's no saving the rest. Come back. You're only going to lose your own life. Kumachi. Far to the east, another kingdom used the strategy successfully. The celestial dragons praised their beautiful city for being cleansed of all filth. In order to bring about great bliss and prosperity, a wise king sometimes steel his heart and enact cruel reforms. King Bakari. The people are mounting furious resistance. Murder Stab down at once. Put out the fires in the south. Kill a handful of them and be rewarded. Who defines the king's edict? Step 4. Who's that? Now stop or be executed. And as that's going down, hold on, guys, give me 1 second, okay? So what is that, like my third phone call now? Let me just say this. So, little, some, not necessarily background information, but from where I live, it's actually kind of cold over here. And given the situation, it's gonna get like extremely cold later tonight. So, you know, we're just all just kind of like checking up on each other and just seeing like, hey, like, are we safe? Or are we good? Like, like what's going on? So, just how it is. But let me continue on with where I left off with King Bakori and with Kuma. And if you hear that in the background, that's just my clock. It likes to go off every hour. Hurry, treat the wounded. Stay inside, Bonnie. You don't want to be in the moonlight. I hope he's safe. Dad's always such a chicken. Stop right there. You know what'll happen if you strike at the king. You'll pay dearly for this. You country bumpkin preacher. This incident will be known as the Solo Revolution of the Sorbet Kingdom. And then you got Saint Marie Joie. See what happens here. I hear there's a new king in Sorbet. Strange. Who is it? Unable to resist the pleas of the people, Kuma became dot 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 Kuma, Kuma, King Kuma, the king of the realm, living out of his old church. King Kumachi. My back hurts. I think you can stop teasing me now. The only, the one actually in control at the palace is old Bulldog. I'm just a figurehead to make the people feel better. Back in King Bulldog, I love this. Back in King Bulldog's day, 2 generations ago, times were poor, but we were rich in spirit. Sure was hard not having money to go around though. And this is actually like one of the first instances actually where we get Bonnie, which at first like if you see Bonnie looking like this, like let's say this, if you were to take this panel out of context and you see this, you're like, dude, she looking hot. But obviously, given with what we know, especially the flashbacks, I know there's been a huge discourse. Okay, there has been a huge, massive discourse that's been going on with Bonnie's character, and this has been happening like now. Everything that's happened with Bonnie's character, and it's more so because of like how long One Piece has been going on for now, and just getting this like revelation. Like now, like it's the whole like best girl image. You know what I mean? Like because of like the whole revelation we've gotten with Bonnie and what we're getting over here, and I'll dive further into this. Call it the discussion of sorts, a discourse, and I will dive into that discourse once I reveal what's happened here. But we see like Bonnie running over cardio, cardio. And they're like, "Who's the girl running around the church? She looks just as pretty as Ginny." And Kuma's like, "Huh? Ginny? Why are you all shocked? I have to be ready to go. I have to be ready to go and see the horizon at sea with Daddy when I turn 10." Huh? To Daddy? When I have to build up strength for. Huh? Huh? That was Bonnie? What was that transformation? Did you eat a devil fruit? When? Uh, Wake up, Kumachi! And the big revelation happens right here. Is this it? The age fruit. Where did she try doing it with your mind? Get older, get older. Stop that, Bonnie. You're going to wear yourself out. And again, this goes back to what I've been saying. Like, we've known Bonnie for a very long time. Okay, she's been in the story since Archipelago, and everyone's kind of like, when it comes to not even just One Piece, but like anime in general, everyone's kind of had like their own, like, like their best girl list. They're like not even like tier list, but like just best girls in general. Whether it's One Piece, whether it's Fairy Tail, Naruto, Bleach, like regardless of whatever series it is, everyone kind of has like that best girl in their series. Okay, and amongst those, Bonnie was one of them for a lot of people for a long time. Even like up until this moment, everyone was like, "Dude, she hot, she's sexy." All of that now like subsides because of this chapter, this revelation that that was never actually Bonnie's real form. It was because of her devil fruit abilities, the age fruit, that's been able to make her look older. And now because of this fruit, it destroyed like that image everybody had. Like, damn. Like, it was one of those things like, dude, she fine. Now it's like, damn, she 12. And it's not even her real form. That's just a facade. Like, people's like hopes and dreams are kind of like crushed because of this. I'll say this, for me personally, like, yeah, sure. I think when first being introduced to Bonnie, I was like, okay, she kind of cute. Now with this revelation, does it destroy that? I mean, it does make it weird. I will say that for sure. It does make it weird, by all accounts, that this is what's happened. But you know what it did? Unlike the other like millions of like Bonnie fans that are like protesting and like showing like discourse and shade at the anime, because I think the anime just like now got to Egghead, right? And there was like already already like shots and whatever of like Bonnie like when she first showed up in the arc. But now like people are just on shade and Discord is like, oh my god, like I cannot with this anymore. All because of like this revelation right here. At this, for me personally, I just look past that. Now I'm kind of just like, okay, it's not Bonnie's real form. So now for me personally, I just go like, okay. Now I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Not a big deal. And I say not a big deal in the sense of like I'm not crying over it. Now I'm kind of just like, okay, now we know that's not Bonnie's real form. She's actually just a 12-year-old. Okay. And I'll be honest, I've never, like I said, never really have I ever put Bonnie in, like, say, the best girl category. For me, that would be, say, characters like Vivi, characters like Nami, Robin, like those kind of characters. I mean, I did, like I said, I did say, sure, Bonnie's kind of cute when we first met her. Now knowing this, it's like, well, she's still a cool character. Like, this does not take away from the fact that she's a cool character. If anything, it just shows that, okay, cool, she's had. If anything, this just shows that we're learning something new about Bonnie that we never knew about before. And I think Oda did that pretty well. But I can definitely see the backlash behind, like, yo, Oda drew her in these specific ways, and now it just kind of looks like kind of weird. Like, huh? Like, bro, what are you doing? She's a 12-year-old. You know? But again, those are my 2 cents on this. Like, on my hand, I'm like, yeah, that is somewhat of an issue. I could see. But personally, I just want to see what Oda has to offer for the story. That's it. So, was it a good revelation? Yes. But as far as the community goes, that's the community's problem. Anyway, try to do it with your mind, get older. King Kuma, please, your majesty, grant us an audience. You see what happens. She turned into an old wrinkled bag. It really worked. She's hideous. It's not working. It's too hard to get older. Who are you, mister? You must be Princess Bonnie, then. My name is Bulldog. I'm something like an aide to your father. I have a weighty matter to discuss. Sorbet Kingdom former king. 2 gens ago, Bulldog. My mother is already here, I see. She's Connie, the one-time queen, Dowagger. King Bakori's back. Look at the nonsense in this article. I'm certain Bakori set this up. I mean, really seized the throne with violence by burning villages? He's trying to overthrow us from abroad. It means he has the world government on his side. Bakori will be back to take control, mark my words. There's intel that he's preparing battleships, and Kuma overhears this. We cannot have Bakori coming back here. He'll have us killed this time. Don't worry, he won't set a single toe within the country again. Whatever he tries to bring back with him, I'll drive it all away. But once that happens, I'll be seen as a criminal. I won't be able to say anymore. Once that happens, I'll need you to be king, Bulldog. Would you take Bonnie under your wing in that case? Even this church will be in danger. All right, I'll find her a place with the same conditions. I did it! She, and it's kind of amusing because she turned older. Into an elderly woman. You know what I mean, like a grandma. Say that more appropriately. Bonnie, been a good girl while I'm gone. Or not be a good girl. Be a good girl while I'm gone. I'll be back when I'm able. That's my mom. You're leaving? I'll miss you. That's him, Navy. Kill him. He's the man who stole Sorber Kingdom from me. A true tyrant who's committed a manner of atrocities. Kill him now! I'm the true king. You were a fool to show your face around here again. Naturally, Kuma sank all the ships and fled to the sea. A bounty was placed on his head. You see the wanted poster, Bartholomew Kumo dead or alive. And through his pirate reputation and great strength, it swelled value over time. And you see Bonnie thinking back like, I wish Daddy was here. I want to see him again. I'm sorry, Bonnie dear. Remember, Kuma is the hero who saved this land. I don't care. He's my daddy. Once I'm 10 and I'm older, I'll be a pirate too. Don't do it, dear. I can turn into a grown-up. And then you see what happens. See, Kuma, have you ever seen this disease before? She can't be in the sunlight, the poor thing. I spy a hot bounty. Aren't you Bartholomew Kuma? Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. she won't see her 10th birthday. And he's like thinking about this, like as he's like going through. Hey there. Oh, you. Hey there, Kuma. And we see that Dragon's here. Dragon's back. Eva and Inazumi were thrown into prison. And since I last saw you, become a king, a tyrant, and a pirate, eh? It must have come as a surprise to you. Nobody in the Revolutionary Army took those articles seriously, of course. Hey, Kuma, can I be captain of the Eastern Forces? Why ask me, Betty? It's Betty talking. I know I haven't really acknowledged Betty, but yeah, Betty's there. Dragon says a position eternally belongs to Jenny until you give permission. So it takes a foul mouthed woman to run the Eastern Forces? I don't mind. Yay! Look over, and Dragon says, Sabo, Koala, and the others want to see you too. We've been promising many, we have many young promising members raising through the ranks. I want to show them off to you. I've seen what's happening around the world. That was Dragon talking. Now it's Kuma. I've seen what's happening around the world, and I've often wondered what you would have done, Dragon. I want to return. I want to return to the fold, but Bonnie is what Dragon says. As a matter of fact, I wanted to talk about her. You're word of the Navy scientist, Dr. Vegapunk, aren't you? After the recent accident, he's going to transfer to a new lab. Ordinarily, he's kept under heavy security, but he's more approachable during transition. Thank you, Dragon. In all honesty, I'd given it all for lost. I'll go speak with them. If I can just cure Bonnie's disease, then I'd be happy to fight with you again. Go to Dragon. Maybe, no, may the winds of fate guide us well, my friend. And you see what goes on here. Yeah! Bonnie, that was amazing. I was going easy on her. And this was her taking on Bulldog. Yeah, it's her taking on Bulldog. And she turns around like, Daddy! Naval Science Division, Laboratory 8, later known as Egghead. So this is like Egghead back in the like early days. Super early days. We're seeing a doctor to get a checkup before your disease is healed. I've never seen a man like you before. And this is when he first meets Vegapunk. I was just thinking the same thing. And Bonnie's like, wow, look at his head. Gross. What a body you have to let me study. What a body. You have to let me study your muscles. For science, of course. And that's your sickly daughter? Kind of a brat, eh? Eh, I don't mind a little lip, though. Sapphire scales. You've done well to limit them for so long. She'll survive. She will? And then you kind of look over, you see Sentamaru. I'll use some medical tech I've been holding back from the public market. Technically speaking, they'll be generating new stem cells and transplanting them. It's about as much work and cost as creating a cyborg. She'll turn into a cyborg? It'll cost as much as I said. And then you see the look on Vegapunk's face like, tell me, are you a buccaneer? Yes. You know, I'm with the government, don't you? I trust Dragon wouldn't put me in danger. What makes my blood different than other people's? Well, I don't have enough of a sample size to explain. I want to make clones of me. That's right. I've been looking for the right person to be the base for my clone soldiers. Just provide me with blood samples and permission to create clone soldiers, and I'll cover the entire immense cost of Bonnie's operation. You can't pay for it yourself, I assume. I won't be declining the offer either way, but what will you do with them? Will these soldiers that look just like me? All these soldiers look just like me. Will be in the Navy? That's right. Tell me, do you like electromagnetic energy? When they see a human being when they see a human being shooting laser beams, those pirates will go mute with shock. They'll be laid low. By the overwhelming power of science, my soldiers will be as hard as shields, deflecting bullets and saving the populace. They'll be heroes to the common man, the mighty warriors from the future. And then, like, dot, 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 dot. Kuma interrupts Vegapunk by saying, he's an odd man, but true to his desires and trustworthy. But then Vegapunk says, that's what Dragon said about me. The nerve! Perhaps if cloned soldiers on me save other people, then my own life will have meant something. Dragon's going to be furious about the terms. Well, I'm nothing but grateful to you both. I would make a deal with you to save Bonnie's life, even if you, even if you were the devil himself. Just save Bonnie. And I said Kuma. Vegapunk goes on to say, "You're a true saint." And then we go to Sacred Marijwa. Clone soldiers are weapons, and weapons are valued by how many they kill. Vegapunk would let a golden opportunity slip through his fingers. But I have a plan to deal with this. As you say, my lord. A saint? No. I'm nothing like that. Just a weak-willed pacifist. I like that. I think I'll use it for the name of my future soldiers. So, when you take that into account and really get to see with where this ordeal leads, especially with like Saturn finding out. I mean, goddamn. But no surprise when it comes to chapter rating. Once again, pure perfection. Pure perfection. Without a doubt. Easy as pie. Now let's get on to chapter 1100. This 1100 chapter milestone. That's still crazy for me to think that we're like this far deep. Thank you, Bonnie. But let's see here. It's business that brings me here today, not pleasures. Chile, not at all like Punk Hazard. This is the place where I can recreate the very future of humanity. In fact, I'm having difficulty keeping on top of all ideas that float endlessly from my head. And then you see Kizaru. You know so many things, and yet you don't know every inch of this laboratory yet. We can't have you negotiating with pirates in secret. Oh, shut up, Borsolano. This is what I hate most about you. Look, I'm sorry, it's my job. This may not matter to you, Vegapunk, but regardless of Bartholomew Kuma's situability to be the model of clone soldiers, he is a pirate with a 296 million berry bounty on his head. It would be a shame it would shame the Navy for us to use clone soldiers of such a man. So I have conditions for you. Bartholomew Kuma first is that you will join the seven warlords as a pirate. A rookie named Ace recently took out one of the seven, and we've been searching for a replacement. The pirating world is growing relentless, and you would be ideal as a warlord. My second condition, Kuma, is that you must be a human weapon for the Navy. You mean have them augment my body? That's right. Your unique abilities will make you a menace to the other pirates. That'd be a big help to us in the Navy too. Shut up, Kizaru. He's right, but Kuma also has a prior record of revolutionary activities. We cannot have that power turned against the world government. Therefore, my third condition, and this is all what Saturn says to Kuma, is that you must ultimately abandon your mind and free will. Now, wait a second. You're asking him to die, Saint Saturn? Is that because you can't control the other seven warlords at a whim? Removing all the human will from a cyborg just turns into a simple robot. Are you asking me to kill this man? Is what Vegapunk says. But very quickly, okay? Saturn says you're in no position to make demands, military scientist. These are my three conditions to have your daughter's life saved. We have no obligation to put up the massive funds needed to save one measly little girl's life unless you promise to uphold these conditions. This is murder, pure and simple. To perform such an operation would violate all human morality. Would you do it on me, Vegapunk? Kuma! I was so worried that his demands would be impossible, and I wouldn't be able to save Bonnie, despite being so close. Thank you. I will gladly accept any fate, even if it means curing Bonnie's disease. And oh, dude, I'm not gonna lie. First time I read this, like, this shit hit me in the feels. Like, Kuma's backstory was already one thing. Getting this though, like, man, I don't even know where to start. But like, you see this, you get the reactions from like everyone: Vegapunk, Kizaru, Saturn, even though it's through a Denden Mushi. Sentomaru is chasing after Bonnie. Vegapunk, how long will it take for Kuma's augmentation? And the full treatment of his daughter's disease. Half a year to treat the sapphire scales, and another full year before she can go outside safely. That's a year and a half altogether. For Kuma's procedure, 2 years at least. I'm so glad Bonnie will be cured by her 10th birthday. Think of your daughter as our hostage. Once she's cured, you will no longer have any reason to obey us. I'm not going anywhere. But we must be certain the world government will take custody of her after her treatment. Her freedom will be granted only when you have fully lost your free will. Then Kuma and Bonnie will never see each other again when she's better. It would seem so. While Kuma's undergoing the augmentation process, he will reign over the seven seas. He will rule over the seas as a warlord. You'll be forbidden from contacting your daughter or escaping after the procedure. If you violate that order, your daughter will be turned. Oh, dude, this is fucked up. Your daughter will be turned into a slave, and like he remembers this. He knows where his life has been. You'll never meet with her. But I have one request. I don't want Bonnie to know about her disease, or the fact that she is being held hostage, so I ask that once Bonnie's surgery is done, she must not be held in some government facility, but in comfort of the church in Sorbet Kingdom where she grew up. If you promise me that I'll never go to visit her, then I'll do exactly as you command. And Saturn says very well. As long as she's under watch, it doesn't matter where. This should prove to be an interesting 2 years. You'll be staying here for the next 6 months, Bonnie. Huh? With you too, Daddy? Yes. They found some disease in me as well. I need to undergo tests. We're twins! Yay! This guy sent Amaru. This guy? Look, there are lots of rooms with no windows here. But there's lots of dangerous stuff here too. And the gist of what's going on here is Vegapunk's going over like all the procedures, all everything here with Kuma, And you got little Bonnie drawing a picture of Kuma. He's sleeping. She's sleeping on top of him. And like you see what's going on. He's eating food. She's enjoying the. Everyone's enjoying like the food that's being here. Kizaru. I said yeah, Kizaru, Kuma, Bonnie, Sentamaru, Vegapunk. 6 months later, good. You're coming well. Another year you should be as good as new. Thank you, Vegapunk. Thank you. Can I come back when I'm cured? Of course. See the Sorbet Kingdom, Kumachi, Bonnie. It's been so long. Will we be living here again? In another year, I'll be all cured, and I can go outside. Well, isn't that wonderful? Just like you said, you'll be better by 10. I hear you need looking after again, Bonnie. It's old bad Connie. Sorbet Kingdom Queen, uh, Dewagger Connie. I'd be happy to take care of her, Kuma. Yeah, leave her to us. Thank you. You do me a great favor. I'm a pirate now, so I can't stay here in this country. I don't think I'll be back for at least a year. Whoa, that long? I'll write you plenty of letters. Good. This is Betty talking, by the way. Actually, no, it's not Betty. This is Bonnie. But go over, and the next time we're together, we'll go and see the horizon at sea. Can't wait. I want to go on lots of vacations. And Kuma responds by saying, I would love to take you anywhere you want to go. I would have loved to do it. And then we got the Cypher Pole agent Alpha showing up. We'll take it from here, Kuma. Whoa, who is this woman? I'll be here to monitor Bonnie's disease until she's perfectly cured on doctor's orders. We'll be handling everything from here. Temp checks to daily doses of medicine. Call me Nurse Alpha. Nice to meet you, Bonnie. We can't have any serious, suspicious strangers around here before she's cured. So I'll be able to see identification from all of you. What a bother. And what did you build out front? That's our temporary housing. A child's neck can be crushed like that. You know, I'm not coming back, is what Kuma's thinking, but he says, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for being born. What? Take care. They call this pirate a tyrant. Bartholomew Kuma was utterly faithful to his orders from above. His presence among the 7 warlords terrified the pirates of the world. Young master, there's a new warlord. And you see Doflamingo, Kuma the tyrant. Well, well, we got another miscreant on our hands. And then you see, this is going like all the way back. Like this is back when Robin was with Baroque Works. Aren't you curious? And yeah, Crocodile, like I don't care who it is. Anyway, have you eliminated the witness to our uh rainmaking ship? You see Mihawk. He's as big as Whitebeard, they say. Who's stronger, Kobe, me, or him? And this is like Alvida talking. Lady Alvida, of course. And then you got Ace. Man, I miss Ace so much. I really do. Jinbei, I hear they got a replacement already lined up. Isn't that nice? And again, like Newgate's there. And who are you to talk, Ace? I'm ready. Oh yeah, this fool's your freaking Blackbeard. I'm reading about it now. Former king, eh? And there's an active king in the lineup as well. The world of pirates has changed. And then, of course, the voluptuous Hancock's there too. It matters not to me. I'll never go to the Central. But we still need information, Snake Princess. Going over. Kiki, she. Paul, man. What kind of power is that? Even still, he's a warlord too, Master. see Dragon, and then you got Sabo, Koala there too. Aren't the seven warlords like servants of the government? And Koala's like, Kuma would never do something like that. To Bonnie, I'm writing to you at sea. It's difficult to travel now, being more famous, but I'm doing well. How's everyone? While I'm traveling the world, sorry, I know it's a long trip, but I'll find many places to take you once you've turned 10, Bonnie. You have new orders from the government, Bartholomew Kuma. And as this is whole thing's going down, you see Luffy like running away from a very cheerfully from a tiger. It's mad now. Where are you now? In the East Blue. What is your command? And that is where we end off chapter 1100. Very monumental, by the way. This is a very super monumental moment for One Piece. 1100 chapters in. Peak! Pure perfection. Like, and really, I'm not gonna explain why. I think how I'm going through these chapters and just breaking down all the details, that should be enough for me to explain why I'm giving the chapters like these ratings. Because it's just that it's being held like really well, and I think of how it's being done. I mean, Oda couldn't have done it any better. I'll be honest. I don't think Oda could have done this like any better than he needed to. But I'm not gonna delve so much heavily into the other chapters per se, but let's go into 1100, 1101. So you see what's going on here, and it says to you, Bonnie. And now it's been 3 years. 3 years have passed, or like this is actually 3 years ago. You get the gum gum with the axe. So Kuma was actually here. He got to see what Luffy was doing, and he says, "Dragon, you seem extremely familiar with this particular nation, but I cannot help but notice you traveling to a little village at the edge of the country and watching a particular lad. Keep going if you want to see me killed." And he notices, like, huh? What do you mean? Children are a vulnerability for any parent. So this kind of explains why Dragon never really made an approach on Luffy, because he abandoned like the only reason why he's like never gone off to see Luffy is because he knows seeing Luffy would kind of be not necessarily a burden, but it's where it would hit hard the most. And he knows this. Pardon me. I'll forget I'll forget everything I saw. And he notices, but he still looks over. That's gonna be a special attack. It'll I'll use it when I'm up against really tough enemies. Once I'm a pirate, I'll be finding new crewmates. See? And there will be times when they get beat up or captured. When that happens, I won't be holding back. I'll give them a gum gum axe no matter who it is. And this is Luffy at like age 16. Like pre-scar and everything. And Kuma's noticing all this from afar. Who's there? That was weird. I felt something that made me shiver. Is there still a big boss lurking somewhere on this mountain? I'm gonna find it and hunt it before I set sail. Pirates have pillaged a merchant ship and are on the run. Sink the pirate ship at once. The pirates came out of nowhere. I'll, I'll take the injured on to a hospital right now. Bartholomew Kuma, what are you doing? So pretty much he's like going on ahead to see what's going on. Just and again, I hate to kind of like brush through everything, but I'm going over the gist of what he's doing. So as he's doing this, he's like writing letters to Bonnie of like everything he sees. And then we flash over to Bonnie. Is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? And she's like getting like the letters from her father. Look, he's probably busy with his work. And sometimes new coups make mistakes. Dad said he would write me lots of letters, and letters take a long time. You're supposed to be patient. They'll get here eventually, dear. A newspaper and a letter. Put this in the church box. Yes, ma'am. Any letters? Nope, just the paper. And man, to see what happens. Another letter, huh? Yeah, how many is this? That must be 10 a month. There are dozens of letters. I'm surprised he hasn't run out of things to write. To Bonnie. And this is actually kind of sad because, like, you're noticing that, like, he's been writing these letters, but Bonnie's never been receiving them. But no, like, you're seeing everything that goes on. It's time for your medicine, Bonnie. Huh? Strange. I could have sworn she looked like a giantess. A, gi- a giantess. Be more specific here while I'm talking. I hate medicine. It's yucky. That's how you know it's working. If only she knew it's just better syrup. Old Connie. But why is it bad if they find out about Bonnie's powers? It's just in case a wise hog hides its talons. And then we're seeing what goes on here. That's amazing, Doctor. It's already done. After this, I'll just use the island clouds to make the lab and brain float. Kind of see what goes on over here. Seeing what Kuma's doing. Like, I'll keep sending them for as long as I can. I love Bonnie. I'll have another year to write out an entire life's worth of emotions to her. That's so sweet. Bonnie will be 9 soon. I bet she's so big now. Not in that short time. I don't know when this letter might reach you. But happy 9th birthday, Bonnie. I'm writing to you from Vegapunk's lab and happy Bonnie, happy birthday! And we're like going back over. So it's like back and forth. We're getting to Egghead, and now we're kind of like going back to Bonnie. So it's like simultaneously between Kuma and Bonnie of what we're getting. Look, it's one of old Connie's big special huge pizzas. It's so goof. No letters. Don't you know I'm 9 now, Daddy? You said you'd write me letters. Half a year passed without a single letter reaching her. Revolutionary Army HQ Baltico. Kuma saved you again. Yes, he helped the army out of a pinch. Then he left without saying a word, and we see a little panel of Sabo as this is going down. If that's what Kuma wants, don't go after him. Hey, Kuma is what's happening here. But then Dragon says, I'm sure he has his reasons. Once he can't tell us. I'm all better. Look, the stones are completely gone. I want to go outside. You can't, Bonnie. We're under instructions to take care of you until you're 10. Liar! Vegapunk said it'd be better in a year. It's been a year now. You can't. You still can't. Alpha and her are secret agents of the government. Huh? Shh. They were drinking in town and someone let it slip. That your disease is already cured. Really? I don't know what else they've gotten they got writing on this, but now but it makes no sense that they keep you locked inside for another half a year when you're all healthy now. And it doesn't make sense that Kuma wouldn't write a single letter, does it? I've already told the men about this. Go to the harbor, Bonnie. Go to sea and Go to sea and find your father. I can see him, and you see what's going down. I'm off. Okay, Yaigo, Yaigo. I'm gonna say Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo and his crew aren't ordinary fishers. They're legendary ruffians who will strike into pirates and beasts alike. They'll reach you, Kuma. I'm off to the palace. Oh, take care, ma'am. I'm outside. There's dirt, grass, sky, sun. Bonnie's walking in the light of day. It's a miracle that there is a God. To think this day would come. This way, Bonnie. Where's Bonnie? I just saw Queen Joe Wagger Connie outside. Well, what's going on? It's me, I'm Bonnie. Don't lie to me. Set sail, we decorated the ship like a pizza. Stop right there. It's Alpha. If you attempt to escape to I have authorization to use nonviolence to subdue you and bring you to justice. She's flying at us? Accomplices may be eliminated. That's the government's fighting style, the six powers. Distorted future. Bonnie, it's said his power and had properties like rubber, and he fought over however he fancied. Nika like future. The escape of Bonnie, the hostage, was relayed to the government at once, and eventually the fishing boat of in search of her father transformed into a pirate ship in the new world, much like Luffy's. And this, I mean, look, no surprise, pure perfection, all the way. And this chapter, honestly, is kind of not that different. Chapter 1102, where you see Kuma's life. This is it. Bonnie. Kuma cheese gotten on the island. Don't call me that. Call me Captain. Fine, fine, Captain. But watch out. The Navy's also on this. Listen up, swabbies. Disembark. So let me just say, because I'm only going to be kind of rushing this because I'm running out of time. But what we're seeing here is what's going down. So we see kind of an outlook of what's been going on in Bonnie's life. Her searching for her father. You see what Kuma's been up to. You see the gist of where Luffy has been after taking out Arlong, which I thought was really neat. And then we get this with Sabo saying Rogue Town. Well, why go there? Who oversees that area? Captain Smoker. And you see Ace like, Jay, you know who this is? That's my little brother. He defeated Arlong's crew? This boy? The answer is mine. He's my uh and again, I love this back and forth correlation we're getting with like Luffy of what he's been up like what happened with him, how that kind of relayed over to everybody from like Bonnie to like Ace to Sabo to Dragon. And Kuma's thinking like, what a strange twist of fate, Dragon. Both of our children are pirates. These are the ironclad laws of piratey behavior. Steal whatever you want from bad guys. Steal. Doesn't help other people unless they need it. Don't help. Why not? Pretty sure that's how you apply lipstick. Yes, I'm all grown up. And there is a cheek on my side so daddy can recognize me. All that's left is to get famous. And then he'll definitely know. See what happens here on Egghead. There's multiple clones of Kuma. I find this eerie. I'm not surprised. They're all proceeding just like your augmentation. Anyway, did you hear that story the other day about the boy who declared war on the world government? What? He's Dragon's son? So yeah, this is like everything that's been going on. So Kuma's been knowing everything. And then you get this. And this was actually the crazy part. When Kuma first arrived on Shibodi, what happened here? You got everything. Everything that went about here. Kind of getting more perspective on what's her name? Getting more of an outlook on Bonnie. As this is going down, guess this is farewell. The pirates attack the celestial dragons. Oh, battleship is coming. The human shop. And again, this is everything. Like, we only saw this from the perspective of the Straw Hats, but now we're getting this from Kuma's side of things, which I think is super fascinating. Was he protecting a fishman? Look at Straw Hat. That's an act of high treason, the likes of which have none have been accomplished in centuries. Dragon, Iva, please forgive me. Wait, P61. What, another one? Zoro, well, for vanishing without a word. I'll leave behind the mark of my existence in Bonnie and the future of this boy. I couldn't save them. Like I remember, like this was some tough shit back in Archipelago, but now getting this through Kuma's perspective, it hits deep. It actually hits really, really deep, when especially when you consider where we were at this point in time in the story. Don't come here yet. It's too soon. This is just the level of the new world, and it's too soon for the likes of your crew. Don't come here yet. One day in the future, you will be the man who saves the world. Pretty much kind of implying and like really like flat out saying, yeah, Luffy is the chosen one of the story. In that sense. But going forward, you're seeing more stuff that's going down between Vegapunk and Saint Jaygarcia. But then, and again, he's like reflecting back on everything, like his time with Jenny, what's Dragon, Bonnie. Like as he's about to go into the procedures, like the final procedure he's about to do. Things back to Vegapunk. Your death is a nuisance to everyone who's ever known and loved you. Listen to me, Kuma, and listen good. You're a hero to Bonnie and all. Thank you. Say Vegapunk. Yes, I already know. Thank you. Thank you for saving Bonnie. You see what happens over here? If you should see Bonnie, would you pass on a message from me? Tell her I wish her a very happy 10th birthday. And when you get this panel shot, like of her just crying in tears, I mean, if this chapter doesn't get you in tears, much like how the rest of flashbacks has been doing, then I don't know what to say. Let me leave it straight up. Pure perfection. Without a doubt. That brings us over to the recent chapter, 1103. And 1103, I think, is pretty self explanatory. Very, very self explanatory. Because Bonnie comes over to the island and it's Vegapunk. He says, Bonnie, did you see everything? And this chapter title is called I'm Sorry, Daddy. I did. And this is Bonnie when she, again, Bonnie transformed as, like, say, a teenager, if you will. Or in this case, kind of like a 21-year-old. Well, Trat, I've broken my promise to Kuma. And this is like Bonnie now returning back to how she normally looks now. I'm sorry, Vegapunk. What is it? This is a present for your 10th birthday. Kuma left it to me. From Daddy? Yay. What a beautiful sapphire. Well, this necklace is shaped like the sun. I'll treasure forever. He said it would be a good luck charm for you, but indeed. 2 years ago, who could have imagined that boy turning into this? So Straw Hat is the son of Daddy's friends? Yeah, I was shocked when I saw the two of you together show up together. Fate is such a strange thing sometimes. While you were in this room, a number of dangerous things have happened on Egghead. The Straw Hat crew just saved my life. Like, minutes ago, in fact. I'll tell you everything. Let's go back and meet up with them when things have calmed down. I'm sorry, Bonnie, but in the end, I'm nothing more than a hired scientist. No, it's not your fault. It's all him. And now officially now we've cut back to the present. Jewelry Bonnie the pirate, your father Kuma is dead. Damn it, why can't I move? See Sanji, Vegapunk, see Frankie. Someone give me food. Meat. And then, I want to, but I can't move. We've captured Vegapunk's bodyguard, Sentamaru. Sentamaru? Bonnie? What's the situation? Yeah, so that's Luffy. Kizaru's there. We don't know. Commodores and below can go in. A brand new Emperor of the Sea hold up on the island? I suppose it's too much to hope no one dies. They say it's a bigger siege than at O'Hara. Is Dr. Vagabond going to be alright? Then you see Dragon. If Kuma is running off some fragment of his true instincts, where do you think he'll go, Iva? If it were me, I'd go Marijwa without a second thought. Kuma's different. I think he'll ... And you look and see what happens. If I'm going to die anyway, and this is while Saturn holds Bonnie, still holding him in his clutches, by the way. If I'm going to die anyway, I might as well take you down with me. Distorted future Nika like. Nika? Future? Again, I'm getting weaker. Why? I see, you're his daughter. And you know that name, but you don't know what it is. She doesn't seem to have made a connection between Nika and Straw Hat's white colored form. Such a shame. Hey, who gave him food? And like you see what goes on, Luffy's eating. Put Sea Prism stone cuffs on him at once. Seize him now. And then again, Kizaru's like still out. I can't use my age changing powers on this old guy. How come? I gave you that power, Bonnie. Huh? It was an experiment to see if an infant incapable of eating solid fruit could be given powers with an extract. It was successful, but the fruit itself was worthless. Its powers might allow you to transform into any future, but the more you know of reality, the narrower your future possibilities become. You want to believe in Nika, don't you? Nika is real. Ever since the day my dad became the cyborg that obeys your orders, I've been searching for Nika, hoping that he'll be able to free Daddy. And your current weakness is evidence that you've begun to think he's not real. Your father believed. I said father. Father believed in that idiotic legend of the Buccaneers as well. He said, I want to save people like Nika does. Years later, I performed a chemical experiment on your mother, who was the eighth wife of a fellow in the Holy Land. It was a failure. Those blue blemishes showed up again. But although it didn't have that desired result, I found it quite curious that the same effect was passed down to his daughter. Huh? What just crashed onto the island? You did all of that? You did that as an experiment, Saturn. Those sapphire scales tore Kuma's family apart. He gave up his life to stop them. And you had the gall to offer him a deal as though you were doing him a favor? That's what Vegapunk was saying to Saturn. But Saturn goes on to say, put yourself in my shoes. Would you bother yourself with the feelings of insects? It's impossible. And then what shows up over here? He's a pacifista. No, he's got pads on his hands. Former warlord of the sea, Bartholomew Kuma, has appeared on the southwest shore of Egghead. He's proceeding toward the center of the island. The authority chip is not working on him. He just won't stop. What nonsense is this? Kuma couldn't possibly be here. And this is while Bonnie's like about to give up. I can't. I'm too afraid. And Vegapunk's like, Kuma, but why? Stop him. Shoot if you must. And she's saying, like, I can't even speak. Yes, sir. Hey, Daddy, I think my spirit is breaking down. And he's going through, like, tooth and nail just to get to where he needs to be. Fire. Give him every shot you have. And dude, this panel almost broke too when she says maybe it'll be easier if I just die. I'm sorry, Daddy. Enough of the squabbling. You obnoxious brat. Shoot him through the head. And they're getting this ready. Pointing the gun at Kuma. And again, while holding all of this while Saturn's like holding Bonney. I'm sorry, Daddy. After all you did for me. And this man pierces through Kuma. And she screams, Daddy. It's Bartholomew Kuma. And like, bro, you want to talk about ending the chapter? Literally. The last chapter of 2023 was this. And honestly speaking, I do not think there was a better way to end off the year than this. This was a phenomenal way to end off the year for One Piece. And oh man, like just to imagine what comes after this is nuts. It's so much happened throughout these 13 chapters, and I know it's been going on for like nearly almost 3 hours. But I mean, it's been such a treat. Okay, seeing with where we were going, the Straw Hats trying to get off the island. Okay, dealing with Kizaru, same Jaygarcia Saturn showing up. And then, of course, the main meat and potatoes of this stream, where a lot of like my time and effort went into this stream discussion, the breakdown analysis of Bonnie's past, not just Bonney, Kuma's past, his backstory, where he came from, and how that all tied into Bonney and like the current events of the story. It's like Oda's a genius. Point blank and simple. Oda is a genius. And he continues to showcase that throughout the story of One Piece. There's a reason why his story's been going on for so long. And like really, when you first jump into One Piece from chapter 1, and you see the journey of where we are right now, 1103 chapters deep, like the last chapter in this chapter, it really shifts your perspective and kind of like, in a way, it only really not makes me appreciate like because I've always appreciated the early chapters of One Piece, but now, especially like part 1, the later events, Shabodi Archipelago, Skypiea. I mean, Water 7's always been great, but you know what I mean. Water 7, Shabodi, Marine 4 was already just on another class by itself. But like when you consider all these events that have happened, and now taking this into account, like it really does like flip a switch on you. And I will say this. Shabodi Archipelago was already a fantastic arc. Okay? It was amazing plus. Now with this stuff with Kuma and getting this backstory, oh no, that arc's value has upgraded now. We've now gone with that arc being an amazing plus to pure perfection. And honestly speaking, I am really, really curious to know where my stance on this arc is going to be when it ends. How long do I think we have until this arc ends? No way in hell is it ending on chapter 1104. 1104 will not be the ending of this arc. If I had to take a guess, I would say anywhere between 1108 and 1118. Between that gap, that is where I think Egghead will end. So give or take, say, another 15 chapters, and then we'll be wrapped up. And then from there, Elbath will be next. And I am so looking forward to Egghead. Plus, we also have one more thing we need to bring up. Vivi's like within close proximity range. So something tells me she's gonna be dropping by soon. How soon I have no idea. But I know her reunion with the Straw Hats is gonna be like a really core aspect and key point of the story. The other thing we have to figure out is what's gonna happen with Kuma now. Do y'all think Kuma's gonna make it out of this? Or do y'all think the reason Kuma's here? I will say this. Because we just got that flashback of Shibuya our archipelago, I believe he's gonna do the same thing that he did to the Straw Hats back then. He's gonna send them flying. That's what's gonna happen. I think with what's happening with Saint Jaygarcia, and maybe that could be a way of how we do end off this arc. He sends them flying. And it would be such a treat. Such a nice callback too. But with that being said, you guys, I would love to stick around longer and discuss more about like what's been like my thoughts on like the arc, like moving forward and like what stuff we have further beyond. But I do have some other things I got to take care of on my end. So unfortunately, this is where I gotta end off the stream for this live stream discussion slash manga catch up for One Piece chapters 1091 through 1103. It's been such a treat. It has been such a huge treat to just sit down here, break down each of the chapters, discussing my thoughts, and really like this backstory. I will easily say top three, maybe let's say top 10, top three, somewhere around that range of like backstories for One Piece. Definitely. Now, top three is a little too high. I'll say top five, without a doubt. But with that being said, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion slash manga catch ups on One Piece chapters 1091 to 1103. Let me know what you guys thoughts were on this chapter. How do you guys feel about Bonnie's backstory? How do y'all feel about like where things are currently? And how do y'all think this arc is gonna end? And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more One Piece, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.